the background of this survey can be traced as far back as to 2010 when a transboundary diagnostic analysis was conducted for the basin. It emerged apparently at that time that there was very little data on any of the key variables in the basin. Water quality, biodiversity, of course flaws to some degree. You could find some data here and there, but generally it emerged that for a very long period of time there has not been any organized, structured data collection within the basin, which means now there's very little information to support management decision making within the basin. So through the two big projects, one supported by the EU and the other one supported by GF and UNDP, monitoring was built in to collect data that could be used to support decision making. But then it also emerged that while monitoring was very important, there was also evidence that there was very little capacity in terms of human resources and capacity in terms of the right instrumentation. Therefore, as part of the implementation of the UNDP GF's support to the SAP implementation project, monitoring activities were built in. But then before you could do any proper monitoring or design monitoring, we needed to collect baseline data first. So the surveys we have been doing were predominantly for the purpose of obtaining baseline data. It is not necessarily monitoring, it's survey, because we wanted to find out the red flags in terms of, particularly with water quality. The idea was to find out parts of the basin where the quality of water could have challenges. Because generally the bigger picture is that the water quality of the basin is still in good standing, but of course there are local scenarios where you would find certain parameters reading very high. So the idea then was to collect data which was going to be used further to develop a monitoring framework.
This is the Quito River. You can see that upstream, the Quito town is upstream. Then on this side there's the Samaria village. There's a floodplain here. So we want to know, a lot of people are depending for drinking, for bathing. So we want to know the quality of the water, because the aquatic life in this river depends on the water quality. Is this water good for drinking the way it is? How does it affect the aquatic life? How does the town, Quito town, affect the quality of water here? So we need to know that, because whatever happens here upstream, the water quality will affect the life downstream. So that's why we are looking at the chemical properties of this river, because it's so important for the livelihood and the environment, the water environment.
This instrument is a multi-parameter. It measures quite a lot of parameters. So inside this sleeve there is quite a lot of probes, and these probes, they are covered so that when you drop this in water, if there is maybe a rock or if there is anything, they do not get damaged, because they are very, very sensitive probes. Now these probes, they measure different parameters like pH, dissolved oxygen, turbidity, and nitrate, and many others. When we are measuring turbidity, we are looking to determine how turbid, how clear the water is, and by that we use a turbidity meter. So a quick process of how we take our samples or how we do our measurements, we take the left bank of the river, then we take 15 readings for each parameter, and then we come in the middle and then we measure 15 readings for each parameter as well, and then we go to the right bank, we take 15 readings for each parameter.
So the importance of flow measurements in the Okavango system is quite important. There are two different river systems, the Cuito and the Cubango, starting up in the highlands. The Cuito system has more sustained flows and is less variable, whereas the Cubango flows are more flashy. And so it's a very interesting system the way that the two are. And so it's important to get an understanding which tributaries to those two systems are contributing more or less water and how what the timing of the flows are between those systems. So our monitoring during the low flows and high flows allows us to get an understanding of what water is contributing to the delta when and what volumes of water that is. So obviously flows are incredibly important to both ecosystem functioning, but also to agricultural water uses and potable water uses. And so understanding how much and where the water is coming from is very important.
Esse tipo de campanha de monitoramento que visa a medição de vários parâmetros, isso é bom, sobretudo num rio como este, que é um rio transfronteiriço que acaba abrangindo 3 países, Angola, Botsuana e Namíbia. Nós como técnicos achamos uma ação louvável porque nos permite ter subsídios científicos, subsídios concretos do que é que está a passar no rio, né? Com o resultado dessas medições podemos formular as informações para permitir no futuro que se tomem decisões baseadas em conhecimentos científicos plausíveis e atuais. Então, para nós, em particular Angola, achamos esse exercício bom e ficamos congratulados com a Ocacom e com os parceiros que têm dado apoio a esse tipo de ações. Usamos há bem pouco tempo o ADCP, que nos permitiu fazer a quantificação de que nesse momento temos um caudal de 68,7 metros cúbicos por segundo, o que é bom porque estamos no maior afluente do rio Cubango, que quando chega na Namíbia é Cubango e idem no Botsuana, e assim vamos continuar a fim de tomar e tirar nota de tudo quanto se passa para que no futuro possamos ter informações, dados atualizados para essa bacia que é vossa, nossa e de todos nós, né? Na comunidade africana, em especial na SADC zona. Obrigado.
We have really made some significant strides. Capacity has been improved. Just to get member states to travel through the basin as a team, collecting data, learning together, discussing issues, it's really one thing which is one can consider a major success, because really this is the beginning of joint management, because if you don't work together across the basin, it will be very difficult for us to really manage this basin here.